Thought experiment. Street Fighter 4 theoretical tier list if Street Fighter 5 combo buffer was in the base game. Okay, hold up. I like this. I like this thought experiment. I actually really like this thought experiment. Give me 2 seconds. We're pulling up a tier list for it. No, I don't want Street Fighter 5. I want Street Fighter 4, dog. Alright. Hold. We have some discussion. This is going to be an actual... I'm very interested in this discussion topic because you got me talking about one of my favorite fighting games of all time. Hold up. Wait, we need to stay on that. Do I not have a desktop capture? I don't. Let me go add that in real quick. Web browser? Can I just do browser? Can we just do a browser source real quick? No, cancel that. We don't want to do it. We just do a desktop capture. It'd be a lot easier to do it that way. Oh, look at that. Yeah. This is not what I wanted to do, but you know, hold on. There we are. Oh, beautiful, isn't it? Look at me. All right, so the thought experiment that we're gonna have. So let's see. So we got to think about the characters with the tightest, the most amount of one frame links, because the way that Street Fighter 4 was balanced was that characters with like one frame links generally were really powerful. They were just locked behind an executional barrier. Evil Ryu, Yun. Okay, all right. So first of all, let me just point this out. There is zero doubt in my mind that Elena is still the best character in the game with a relaxed input buffer. This is not Ultra Street Fighter 4. There's 2 Balrogs in this. Hold on, we need a better one. We need a better one. Tier list 2020. All right, not. Do we not have a fucking tier list maker for Street Fighter 4? Where's like something that isn't trash? Okay. Because this is good, it's just not great. Do we have a, why the fuck do I have, like, that coming up? Ultra Street Fighter 4. Okay. Ew, gross. We don't want to fucking... Alright, Ultra Street Fighter 4 character tier list? Ah, better. Okay, so, where's Elena, that cheap bitch? Alright, Elena is definitely still going to be top tier. Alright? Her balancing is fucking awful. She's still definitely one of the best characters in the game. Yun and Yang both were balanced in a way to where they were purposely top tier. I have no doubt that these are still the 3 best characters in the game. I think infinite characters would almost go to S tier if not A tier. Dudley, so okay, we'll get onto this. Evil Ryu definitely would be S tier if his inputs were a lot easier. I would 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Like he would be so fucking good. I don't know if S tier is like where I'd put him, but like he would be pretty fucking good because his infinite or his loop that required meter was locked behind a 1 frame link, but it did so much damage. It did a shit ton. All right, who else are we doing here? So yeah, I think this would be like the 4 best characters in the game easily. Who else should go up here? Because there's got to be one more. I think Fei Long also, because Fei Long's combo into Chicken Wing, which did a shit ton of damage, mind you, and also left him in a really great spot for Oki, was locked behind a 1 frame link between his 2 jabs into, what's it called? Rekkas. Okay? So I think these would be like the top 5 best characters in the game. Fei Long had amazing pokes, and he could cover neutral like a monster. His combos were just really inconsistent because you had to be able to consistently link 2 jabs and not chain them because they were chainable. You had to link 2 jabs into Rekkas, and that did tend to be very difficult. Fei Long would be incredibly good if you took out that executional barrier. So, next, Fuerte would be A tier to do his run stop fierce stuff. He could have been like, he's definitely an A tier character. I don't think Fei Long would be like broken tier status, and I don't even think Evil Ryu would be broken tier status. I think an order like this would actually be pretty honest to what these characters were, because Evil Ryu had like 950 health. I actually think he had less health than Akuma, who would also be in this tier. Akuma was strong as fuck. Abel also would probably be. I don't know if I would put Abel up here in S tier. It basically doesn't change in tier placement. Yeah, like Akuma's still strong as fuck without execution. Like, he does so much damage, and behind like a weakness of, what's it called? Like, not having health. Like, his his execution was not the barrier to entry for that character. It was leveraging the fact that you had one of the worst healths in the game. But I think Abel would also be up here. I don't no. I don't know, because here's the thing. Abel didn't have super tight links that were super hard. His 50-50 was his like QCF punch and shit like that, like, and like mixing you up into throws. So Abel still would have the same weaknesses. His he wouldn't improve that much. I think Abel would, like, sure, he'd have like the infinite and it'd be a little bit easier to pull off, but like the damage scaling on that was fucking rough. It didn't actually make him that much better. I still think he's good. Don't get me wrong. Abel was a really strong character, but I don't think he was like A tier. So we're not going to put him up there. Honda would still be trash. Honda was a bad character in that game. I hate to tell this, because Honda was really good in Street Fighter V. Honda was not great. You could get like an easier link into his hands, or like into hand combos, but it doesn't make him that much better. It wouldn't make him that much better. Honda would actually get worse. His combos actually are the easiest in the game. Oh, well, there you go. He still belongs there. Dan wouldn't get any better with this, and who else was like really bad in the game? DJ also wouldn't get any better, but DJ would do better than Honda. DJ was bad, but that's because a lot of his moves were just mediocre versions of other characters' moves. Like, DJ would still be bad, but I think he would definitely outplace these two in the long run, because like he still had some hard-ish things to do. Not a whole lot though. Vega, still bad, but could be a solid B tier. I think Vega honestly like skirts the line between being the worst B tier and being the highest C tier. So we're gonna put him in like top C tier. Okay, that's fair. Cammy would still be fucking good. Cammy was really powerful in that game. I would actually put her in front of Fei Long, because like the executional thing wouldn't really change her much. She's so strong. So that she'd stay the same. Bison would get way better. I think you could put Bison in low A tier, upper B tier. I think that's fair. I think Sagat would go up a tier. But what was Sagat's hardest combos? Sagat played a really heavy zoning game. Like, he didn't have that many combos. So I actually don't think Sagat would go up a tier. I think he would stay relatively where he's at. You would be able to combo more consistently, don't get me wrong, but like, he still didn't, like, he was good. He was a good character. I think it's definitely one of the better B tier characters, but I wouldn't say it like shoots him up a tier if he had like the Street Fighter V window. I think he still would have strong pokes. He'd still have arguably running up with Gouken for the best fireball in the game, but I don't think his game plan would change too much, and I don't think it would make him that much better. Viper would definitely beat the fucking brakes off a lot of people if she got better. I would actually like, she's another one that like skirts the line between being a B tier and an A tier, in all honesty, because she is the epitome of high execution in that game. You take away the executional barrier behind Viper, she would be demolishing people. Same with Gen. Gen and Viper would definitely be moving up a tier. If you confirm his jabs every time, then your close range would improve dramatically. Yeah, but the thing is, Sagat's kit is built around long range. His close range stuff was good. It just was like he'd still have the same problem with his jab. It's slow and it's stubby. Like his close game wouldn't improve, but I don't think it would shoot him up a tier. I think he'd still be skirting the high B. Like comfortably high B. Same with Dudley. Because Dudley still hits like a fucking tank. It's just... I would put him up, actually. This is actually a fair spot. Dudley getting less execute... Okay, so this is really hard. This is actually really hard. So Dudley had a couple infinites on big hurtbox characters. He had the ability to do an infinite. However, a lot of the hard stuff with Dudley came from juggle combos, which a laxed input buffer would not fix. It was still, you had to time a juggle. So a laxed input buffer is not going to make Dudley any better. Trust me, I played this character a lot. He is, however, still going to be a fucking monster, and he's going to be even more consistent with being a monster. Now, his main bread and butter, for the most part, which was like jab, jab, stand, heavy kick, was like a 3 frame or whatever. So this would actually, like, you would probably never drop this combo again. It'd be so easy to hit this combo. But I don't think he would improve a whole lot if you took away his, like, or if you made, like, the input buffer more relaxed. Because Dudley didn't need that. He would have an infinite on, like, a couple characters that it's a little bit more consistent to pull off. But that infinite was very character specific, and that's about it. That's about all I can say for him. He's good. It wouldn't really improve him, but he'd stay, like, really good. And his Rose overhead combo would just kill you. You know, like, sure it would. You could double tap the juggle button. No, but, like, the thing is, no, Dudley is, like, really high B just because of his damage and, like, his ability to stun the fucking crap out of you. But Dudley still is weak mid-screen because he doesn't really have any, like, good neutral tools until he gets you in the corner. Forward medium kick is, like, pretty good, still stubby. Heavy punch and forward heavy punch are great-ish, sort of. It depends on the situation you're using it against in the matchup. Because, like, against Geef, oh god, like, he's fucked. But, like, against, like, a Ryu, you're gonna get outpoked all the time. Or against, like, Dawson, like, you're fucked. Right? Like, it's not gonna save his life to have it. The juggle mechanic is more timing your next move to hit them while they're, like, in the right spot in air. So it's not really going to give him too much by giving him a more relaxed input. So, yes, he's still good, and I just don't think he would move very much higher than where he already was, because he was already really fucking good. You know what I mean? Like, B+ tier was where he was at on most people's tier lists, which was really good, considering as how S+ is where Yun and Elena were. His Rose overhead combo would just kill you. His Rose overhead combo, like, the Rose overhead mix-up only worked in the corner, so it wouldn't just kill you. Like, it literally only worked in the corner. You could backdash the shit out of it. Well, like, unless you were in the corner. And also the, like, overhead, or the Rose overhead thing. Like, the Rose, I don't think counted as an overhead. So you would do the Rose to, like, stun lock them, and then if they were crouch blocking, you would have a lot more time to do the overhead. Or if they were stand blocking, you'd have more time to do the low. Like, it basically also covers jump outs, but, like, again, Dudley is really good in the corner, and most of his combos come from a juggle. So it doesn't really improve Dudley's game plan to have a more relaxed input, or an input buffer. Chun Li, on the other hand, would fucking demolish your ass, because she had amazing pokes, she had an infinite combo with meter, or, like, she had, like, a combo that she could do with meter. She was just, like, she demolished people with legs. Chun-Li would be really good, and then if you made it so it was easier to combo EX legs, like light kick into EX legs or, like, light punch, Like, if you took away the execution for Chun Li, she'd be wrecking people. Like, she'd be a problem character. She already had really solid pokes. Her fireball was weak, but like EX legs was amazing. Yeah, no, Chun Li would be like really high for that. Her infinite was meterless. The starter was really hard to hit. Okay, that just further proves my point. She was amazing. If you made it easier to do her combos, she would be absolutely melting people out here. Balrog would also be amazing, because Balrog's main combo, like Fei Long, came from like linking jab into dash punch. But the problem with that is jabs chained. So you had, I think it was like a one frame link into jab into dash punch. So if you, again, made that easier, Balrog would be just demolishing people. Light Kick's EX legs was mashable, but she'd still be destroyed. You can also hit his link from far jab into his ultra. Yeah. Again, just further cementing the fact that Balrog would just be absolutely melting people. I would, however, say that Akuma and Fuerte would be worse than Bison and Balrog. Like, I think this, well, okay, so here's the thing. So Bison, when he gets, like, Bison standing up, his standing heavy kick was amazing. Standing medium kick was amazing. Psycho Crusher was a really good move. Scissor kicks was safe, like it is in Street Fighter V. Like it was a nuts move. But the thing is, Bison had 0 reversals. So I don't know if like making his also I don't remember his combo damage being insane. And a lot of I don't think Bison would really move up very much. I think he would still be like here. Because here's the thing. Bison's Bison executionally, as far as linking normal attacks together, was not incredibly difficult. There was some hard stuff like everyone else, but it wasn't incredibly difficult. He would, however, still have the problem of you needing to build charge in combos. That is always going to be an issue. And execution is not going to fix that. He also would still have the issue of not having any reversal options that were good, especially like metered reversal options. I think you could do like EX Stomp or like Psycho Crusher, but like both of those were incredibly risky. Incredibly. Even if you did like FADC like Psycho Crusher, I don't think it was like very good. Do that. So he's really good if he's standing in your face. I don't honestly know if I would put Bison in A tier. Like he's definitely good, but I think like he's up here in all honesty. Like B+. He's up hanging with these guys. You know what I mean? Like I think that is actually like somewhat of a fair assessment of this character. You're forgetting one really important thing in this though. What are we forgetting in that? Street Fighter 4 punishing? Oh, God. Oh, you're right. I am. I'm just strictly thinking how easy the combos would be. Street Fighter 4 punishing? Dude, Dudley would... No, because I also have to think about the range of these characters. We also have to take, like... Yes. So, we'll further work on the tier list with punishing to refine it when we get the placements so far. But as far as punishing goes, like, yes, that is something you absolutely need to think about. But a lot of the punishes for these characters could be bad just due to their range. Like, don't get me wrong, Sagat was amazing, but like, Sagat punishes on a block Shoryuken didn't, like, they did a lot, but like, that's a bad example. Like, Vega's punish was still trash. Okay, like it wasn't saving his life anywhere. Like he wasn't. He's not going to improve from that. You know what I mean? Abel's still a solid B tier. I think we can say that. I think Abel's still like a really solid B tier. Cody, I'd put him also in the upper C. Cody was good, right? Cody was good. He wasn't great, but he was good. You still have to play around the fact that you have to charge Zonk Knuckle all the time if you want like a reversal that's good. And also like his combos weren't, again, super difficult. Like they really weren't, if I remember correctly. And I don't think he'd improve much. I think he'd really just stay in the same spot. Cause like his hard execution was like doing the Zonk Knuckle charges, like the same way you charge like tap. I'm talking more about punishing moves that are only like -3 or -4. Yeah, so okay, then we'd have to like really consider the distance on jabs, which I would still kind of argue that we're still pretty accurate where we're at. I would argue that this is still like a pretty fair placement of where we're at, because like all these people could absolutely melt you off a 3-frame. Maybe not Akuma as much or Fuerte, but like, bro, up here you're fucking dead. You are dead off a jab. Like, that shit's gonna hurt. Oh, Ryu would probably still be, like, upper B. Because, his, like, Shoto consistent combo, crouch jab, low forward, fireball. That was a 1-frame length from jab to low forward. So a more consistent way for Ryu to do that would make Ryu really good. On top of all the other things that make Ryu really good to begin with. Ryu was actually like in Ultra, if we're specifically saying Ultra for this. Ryu in Ultra was actually really fucking good. There was just some like really big, like this character, like evil Ryu shined so much brighter than Ryu. Ryu had some like pretty ridiculous stuff. Did you guys know that EX Tatsu is completely safe? I didn't, or at least I forgot. That was a thing we were just cool with. EX Tatsu was just safe. So I think Ryu can hang out here. I think Guile didn't really have combos. Guile had really strong pokes. So I think Guile still like hung out around like upper B also, like B+ with everybody else. Because, like, here's the thing. Guile was a really basic character. And it's not that... His punish game would definitely go up, which I think it's fair to say that Guile would be pretty, like, cemented B+ tier. Right? So I think we could actually make a B+ tier. Whoops. I think we could definitely make a B+ tier. Right? Like, I don't think that's too ridiculous to say. Is there any way that we can... Whoops. Is there any way that we can, like, Yes, there is a way. Alright, so add a row above that we're gonna call B+ tier. So what? This one's gonna be B+ tier for, like, all the people that are, like, B tiers but with, like, really decent punishes. It's like, what, B+? Cool. Alright, so B+, Viper would absolutely destroy you, Bison would absolutely destroy you, Guile would fuck you up, Dudley would, Sagat definitely would mess you up, Ryu, I would definitely put here, and Gen here. I think these characters here would absolutely fucking demolish you if their punish game was improved. And the reason why I'm having Dudley kind of low on B+ tier is because he actually really struggles against, like, anyone with decent pokes. So, potentially even this. Because all these characters could definitely, like, if Dudley can't get in on you, he suffers really hard. He had combos, but I don't think he would move a whole lot. He'd be, like, high B or low A. A lot of characters move to B... A lot of characters move to B to and A. Yeah, a lot of characters do. Actually, now that we're talking about punishes, did Vega have a 4-frame jab or a 3-frame? Either way, I think Vega also kind of like, no, because like, I think we're kind of like, see, here's the thing, like, punishing a -3 with like, Vega doesn't give Vega a whole lot because like, his combo routes really weren't great to begin with. Vega's tools are a little lackluster. Yeah, so I think Vega still stays down here. Adon definitely gets better. Absolutely gets better. I would put Adon above Cody, or above Abel. Like, he gets a lot better if you improve his punish game and his combos. He's a little wonky, and, like, there are some very, like, situational things. Like, his Ultra, what was it? Ultra 1 is actually still hot garbage in most matchups. Like, if you're not specifically playing against someone with a Fireball, like, why are you even picking Ultra 1? Like, it's still definitely hot dookie for the most part, but, like, there's still some stuff that, like, he can do that would be way better if he had that. Same with Blanca. I think Blanca, if you improved his punish game, would actually make him a little bit better. But the thing, so here's why I'm not, like, putting a whole lot of weight on punishes. Because you have to consider what their jab, like, their 3-frame buttons look like. And for the most part, I think that's, like, everyone's, like, crouch jab, right? So, like, if they have really stubby moves or whatever, like, they're not gonna benefit too much, or, like, what their damage potential is off of, like, just hitting a crouch jab. I think Blanca would become a lot more annoying, but I don't think it'd be pushing him B+. You say Adon weird? Is it Adon? Like, what am I doing wrong? I don't think Blanca does much here. I think that he stays around where he was. His combos were short and his punishes were whatever. Yeah, no, like that's a fair statement. Gouken was actually really good in this game. I'd put him under Dudley. Gouken was really good. His Fireball was really strong. Like, really strong. But the problem is he was so built around that Fireball that, like, he doesn't get much better by making the game easier to play. He just kind of, like, sticks where he's at, and he just becomes more consistent. Dhalsim would get better. Dhalsim had some wonky fucking shit in this game. I think people slept on how good Dhalsim was, because they were like, oh, hey, he's got bad health, but, like, he was really troublesome. Adon, totally fair. Guy wouldn't get much better. Guy would definitely stay C tier. Like, I don't think I need to explain why Guy gets much better, but, or doesn't get much better, but let me just say it this way. His jump is too floaty. Hakan doesn't get much better either. Hakan still is only good in hyper-specific situations, but I think he would be better than Vega and, like, Guy. His kit just isn't great. He does have some pretty specific matchups where he's good. Don't get me wrong. But they're very specific matchups. Geef certainly doesn't get any better than what he was, which I think is still B+ tier. Like, I think this is a pretty fair placement of him. Like, he doesn't get any better if you improve his punish games. Geef didn't have combos. He's a grappler. Like, he's the quintessential grappler. What are you going to make easier? Jab, jab, light kick, green hand? That was already easy as fuck to begin with. His hard stuff came from juggles, kind of like Dudley. So, like, a relaxed input doesn't make him any better. His punish game really wasn't, again, strong to begin with. But there were things, like, Geef was aggressive. He could rush you down because of a green hand. His SPD had stupid range. So I think this is a pretty fair placement of him. Who jumps with Guy? You just run and do flip. Yeah, but, like, it doesn't make Guy much better to, like, do anything. Like, he wasn't strong to begin with. His tools were, his jab from, like, earlier, his crouch jab was kind of weak. It wasn't great. He still only had one reversal, which was his EX Tatsu, which means your best reversal required meter, which instantly doesn't make him that great to begin with. Which, now that I'm saying this, drops you down pretty far. Because, no reversal, meterless reversals. And actually, I think also does drop you guys here, because no meterless reversals that were good. Dudley's DP isn't invincible on Wake Up, though. You have to use meter for it. That also puts Ken definitely up here, because Ken will just rush you the fuck down. Fuerte also might actually not be an A tier character. I think Fuerte goes over here, because he also didn't have a meterless reversal. Same with you. You just had good range. which actually might bring these 3 to A tier. So here's my explanation on why I think these 4 right here should move to A tier. So, Flash Kick, Shoryuken, and Tiger Uppercut are all invincible on startup and can all be FADC to make safe. And in Ultra, that was just do backdash, which was also really good in Street Fighter 4. So these guys on Wake Up can do some dumb shit. Now, why I'm saying that, like, these guys specifically, their kits did kind of lack stuff. Like, Ken, lacking. He also didn't have super tight combos, but he was pretty meter heavy. Like, you needed to spend a lot of bar to make him good. Does Fuerte need a meterless reversal, though? You can get, like, 250 damage off 1 bar. Okay, you actually make a compelling argument off of that. I'm really actually doubting Run Stop Fierce. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But again, these guys I think are definitely like an A tier because making their punish game with Shoryuken easier definitely helps. Sakura also is a character who I think, this might be controversial, would be a low A tier character. Because she had a lot of tight links, but she also had like loops with her stuff that could lead to really big damage. They absolutely could lead to really big damage. Same with, and I'm going to put him here because he's not an A tier character by any means, but I think Hugo would improve greatly because clap loops. Seth, there's no argument. Better than Eva Ryu. Anyone that tells me Seth is bad in that game, shut the fuck up, you don't know what you're talking about. Hugo clap loops for days. Yeah, and they'd just be easier, so he'd just stun the crap out of you. He'd still, however, be weak to what he's weak to. Like, we can't get around that. Ibuki, low, like, still a B tier character. Would put her over here. She doesn't have that hard of loops to do. It's just, basically, if she doesn't get to do what she wants to do, you can shut her down really hard. Ibuki's good. If she's winning. When she loses pretty hard. Now, here's someone I don't really know a lot about. I want to say DiCaprio would be here. I want to say DiCaprio would be here. Because she had a cool setup Ultra. She had somewhat hard combos to do. Like, the thing is, like, that made her weak is she's a charge character. So, like, there's a whole lot of down backing they had to do. But I don't think her combos were that hard to begin with, and her punish game is just a bad I don't want to say bad cam like she was a bad character. She was pretty decent. I don't remember her being like a problem the way that these characters would have been if they had like just more relaxed combos and better punishes. So I'm gonna leave her here for right now, but this is subject to change. DiCaprio is decent. Her combos were a little between juggling and linking. Her juggles were pretty good, but her combos were just okay. Yeah, so then I think this is a fair spot to put her in, right? Like, she doesn't get that much better by having easier combos. She just gets a little bit more consistent, which is cool. Makoto would fucking run a fade on all of you. I would almost argue that, like, she could be out here. Because she can stun super hard. Her combos were just difficult, and she had really bad mobility. That was her problem. Was she had really bad mobility. Like, her walk speed, I think, is almost as bad as Hugo's. But, like, when she touches you, you feel it. So I think a low A tier for Makoto, because, like, her punish game would become more consistent, and her combos would be a lot easier. I think this might be a fair spot. If not, she's definitely a B+ character, and I will not be accepting anything other than that. She was good in that game. Her crouching medium punch hit like Fei Long distance almost. It was nuts. Makoto's tools are bad, but if you can actually do her combos, then she could lean more into one-touch death scenarios. Makoto is my main. So, like, assuming you just take the executional barrier out and you buff her, like, ability to actually swing back and punish, I don't think she was really that, like, I think she could be pretty pretty powerful in that game. Like, she would absolutely wreck your shit. Rose would get way better. You know, Rose had actually really good pokes. I don't think Rose... So this is another one of those characters I'm conflicted with. Rose could be an A tier character. Her fireball isn't as strong as these guys' fireballs. Well, Goken fireball. Or, like, Guile Sonic Boom. But, like... Drill was, like, her best move. Realistically. Like, that was the move you were using a lot. And, like, forward heavy kick or something like that. Like, she was a pretty decent zoner, but she didn't really have combos. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think it makes her that much better. Rose only really had, what, 2 combos, and they were, like, button, medium. Yeah, basically. Yeah, she didn't really have that many as far as combo goes. T-Hawk, this pains me to do this, but you don't get that much better. Capcom gave you a gun, but they forgot to load the clip. Excuse me, magazine, whatever. Or whatever the terminology is. I don't know. Some gun nut's gonna correct me. Still a good character. I would arguably say he's better than Hakan because, like, he does kind of get nuts. It's just his combo sucked. He was just a bad geef. Whoa! Hey, we're gonna undo that. We don't want to open TSM. That's not what I want to do. We're not playing WoW right now. Yeah, talk about just like a random... Like, that was so random. Why'd they clap him like that? Yeah, let me see if I can, like, remove your timeout. Also, what up, Pyro? Alright, should be good. Okay, so, a registered T-Hawk is a link? Oh, that's so lame. Don't put a period on it. No, it's because you put a period on it. It probably thought, like, that counts as a link. Like, Hawk could, like, be the domain name. Yeah, that's really stupid. Jury, high C, low B. I don't think she improves that much. Oni, still rocking the C tier. It wasn't great. Poison had a really great fireball, but she didn't have that hard of execution, and her punish game wasn't, like, super anything notable. Rolento gets moved up to B because his combos were fucking cool, and then you were actually kind of okay. You just kind of fell behind, so you probably also hang on in B. So... Alright, back to lurking and watching anime. I feel you. Rufus relied on one frames a lot. Okay, yeah, but like, so here's my logic behind the Rufus being a B tier. Maybe high B, low B plus. He did rely on one frame links a lot, but okay, we got to think about what his toolkit really was. And what he was really weak to. Now, he had like, what, jab, and then it was like medium kick into... the spin move. It wasn't like Galactic. It wasn't Galactic Space Opera because that was like his ultra. But like, he still. I don't think like by the time Ultra was out, I don't think Rufus was like super powerful. I think that if you remove the one frame links, it kind of makes him good, but I don't think he really had much. He had like that weird overhead loop, but like it wasn't like the overhead string, but like it wasn't super hard to block that on reaction. I know forward or crouching medium punch with him was really strong, like really strong. That had great range, but it also kind of like stuck out a little bit. So like he was prone to whip punishes. I just don't remember Rufus really being a problem character, and in fact I think like he had a dive kick. The dive kick was pretty good, but I don't think it was like Yun Yang like crazy powerful. And I remember like that not being like too big of a threat. No, it's light kick, hard punch, which was his best combos, and it had 3 one frame links. Yeah, so but like the thing is like I don't think his toolkit really like it makes him more consistent, but I don't think it like unlocks the character, so to speak. Like, he didn't really suffer from just, like, being an inconsistent character. Like, look at it this way. Light kick, jab, Rekkas put you, like, almost to the corner from mid-screen. And then you were just, you weren't getting out because he had such a strong poke game, way better than his. Chicken wing was also a really good move because you could do, like, close jab and then, like, I think maybe close fierce punch. And then he also had a DP, which was really good. Like, I don't think Rufus, I don't remember Rufus being, like, the best character ever. I think, like, as the later editions of Street Fighter went on, like, he didn't get, like, buffed substantially. Like, he didn't really, like, the only player that really played Rufus was Sophie Ortiz. That was it. That was the only people playing Rufus. Like, she was really the only one. So, like, I don't know. But, like, that's just the thing. Like, I don't think anyone really put in the time with him because, like, I don't think his toolkit improved much after Vanilla. That's fair. Jaewong played Rufus? Really? Well, regardless, I mean, like, Sophie and Jaewong. That's it. Those are the only two people that played him. I think you could make an argument that Rolento's mix-up game, or like his punish game, would get a little bit better. No, actually you couldn't make that argument. I lied, because Rolento's best tools were mix-ups. Like, that weren't even, like, guaranteed. Like, you had to trick them into falling for it. Jaewong was the Rufus? I've always associated Rufus with Sophie. But that's because I watched, like, a ton of her matches from back in the day. I honestly forgot who Jaewong played back in that game. But, like, I also don't doubt it. He played Rufus. Totally fair. I mean, that is completely fair. But yeah, I think this is like a pretty fair tier list, or like a pretty fair tier list. I think we could actually make an A+ tier. Stop it. I think we can make an A+ tier where we call this like A+. Right? Because so like, here's the thing. Street Fighter 4 was like really dumb, but it was balanced okay-ish. So like, you're still amazing, you are amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing, and you're amazing. Really debatable on which, I don't think this is going to be ordered at all. But like, I think that's pretty fair. This should get like an S+ tier where it's just Yun and Elena. Because honestly, like, Yang's good, but he's not like the best. So like, I don't think Yang's toolkit really compares to how fucking ridiculous Elena is, and then Yun's just broken nonsense that was literally by design. Again, if you really want like a great example of like the balancing of this game, I invite you to look at the Bad Balancing series by Beffael. It's actually like really informative. I genuinely enjoy that. I will shill that man. But yeah, so S+ tier, these two characters right here, they were problem characters, and giving them easier execution and punishes only makes them worse because they had such good tools. Elena's biggest weakness was like the fact that her jump was really floaty. Yeah, that was her biggest weakness. But Yun and Yang, they were literally designed to be top tiers. I just think Yun is just a better version of Yang. In all honesty, you could potentially put Seth in this tier because Seth was really like broken. Seth was really strong. I might have like some like flashbacks of what's it called, like Street Fighter 5 Seth, confusing me, but like Seth was pretty good. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Punko play Seth, or if you guys remember watching Punko play Seth, but like, yikes, that was a sight. Nobody jumped to the Lena anyways. I mean, Seth was S in Street Fighter V release. Totally fair. Totally fair. I mean, Seth is a really good character. He had basically just, like, slightly weaker... he had a slightly weaker SBD, but, like, he had a 3-hit Shoryuken that he could combo really hard from. Like, Seth combos got pretty insane. These characters here, I think, are also, like, I think it's pretty fair. I don't remember Cammy having that many one-frame links, right? But just making her combos more consistent and her punishes alone more consistent would be a problem. Like, that would hurt. She had crouching medium punch. Her sweep kind of hit pretty far, too, in all honesty. Or, not crouching medium punch. Crouching medium kick, which was a special cancelable move that, like, did really well. So, like, it hit far and was special cancelable into, like, cannon drill. So she could be a problem character. Plus she had the like tiger knee what was it, like cannon shot or something? Whatever her like air cannon drill was. You could tiger knee that with meter, and that was like almost an instant overhead if I remember correctly. He's just a problem in general. He was really good even with like when you mastered execution, but giving him the ability to do his loop like consistently, oh boy. His biggest weakness was the lack of health. Evil Ryu was a very powerful character. Every tool in the game but toned down slightly. Yeah, basically, but like they really did give Seth like everything in the kitchen sink. Just like, yeah, it's somewhere debatable. Like his SBD kind of sucked. But you only really used SBD to like tack on a little bit of extra damage when they were too afraid to deal with everything else you were capable of doing. As Seth. Fei Long had some of the best normals in the game, and his combos just were kind of hard to pull off. So if you give him an easier combo game, he's going to have a better and more consistent punish for it, and he's also going to just be able to combo you better. And he already had really good damage and really good normals. Same with Chun Li. It's like basically the same situation, except I would argue that her pokes were a little bit better, because like standing heavy kick was nuts with her. It was the worst SVT, but he could teleport to you and set up a 50-50 plus his light punch is monstrous. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. But like the thing is, when you were doing SBD with Seth, it wasn't because you wanted to do like it was because they were turtling and they were terrified of you. So you just decided to demolish them and just obliterate their morale. Like the fact that like his SBD was there just to crack turtles, but like the rest of his toolkit was like even more terrifying than his SBD. Like his SBD didn't do that much damage or stun. It like you were worried about everything else. The thing that sucked about SBD though was like the hard. I don't actually know because like the hard knockdown put you in like a weird position because he jumped back further than Guile. If I remember correctly. Big if. Anyways, Balrog, stun monster. He had a great like. Everyone who thinks Balrog was a problem in Street Fighter V, he was worse in Street Fighter 4 because he had better ways to combo into his his dash punch, and dash punch also had like a crazy overhead mix-up. That was a thing that we were all just cool with. Dash punch could just overhead the shit out of you out of nowhere. Because you thought he was going to go low and snatch your ankles. Rog I could see being A+. I actually, like, that's, like, it's a really weird spot he's in. And same with Akuma. Akuma, like, just having more consistency in his punch. Yeah, no, because, again, Akuma had juggle combos, but the thing is, like, to start his juggle combos did come from, like, a kind of wonky link from, like, crouch medium. Or, not crouch medium. Well, it could be crouch medium punch. But, crouch light punch to stand heavy. Or close stand heavy. It had to be close. No, I lied. It didn't have to be close. Because at Ultra, they gave his far heavy punch, or his far standing heavy punch, a special cancel. So it didn't even need to be, what's it called? It didn't even need to be close heavy punch. His combo game was buffed. I forgot about that buff. he would have a better consistent combo game, and he would absolutely destroy your soul. Rock Punish would still probably be the best in the game. His jab felt like it was half screen. I would argue that he would have probably one of the best punishes, because you could loop with his EX upper. What's it called? His upper, like rush upper or whatever. You could loop that, and it looped on crouching opponents too. So yeah, no, his punish game would be like a fucking problem, in all honesty. So like these would easily be like the top characters in the game, where you would just consistently see them in tournaments. Like these guys would be demolishing people. It would be so unfair. When we get down to A tier, this is where like the character weaknesses really start to like shine, so to speak. Because like, don't get me wrong, these people all have weaknesses, but like their strengths only just multiply if you make it easier for them to combo you. Because like, again, Akuma doesn't really have a whole lot of health, but if you were to make his combo game more consistent, you like, good luck, because he just needs a straight hit and you're dead. Like, it's really, he would be putting you in so many guess or die situations, it'd be nuts. His Vortex was already Akuma's Vortex was already one of the best Vortexes in Arcade Edition. That's why they had to give the game Delayed Wake Up. Was him and Cammy. They were the two biggest problem characters. And what's even more nuts is Delayed Wake Up didn't really fix the problem. It sort of did, but then they just delayed what they were doing. So you'd still wake up into the mix-up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still had probably one of the best wake-up mix-ups in the game. Like, and it'd only get even worse. Does anyone really have a hard FADC ground combo? Yes. Yes. And it would be a charge character. It'd probably be like Vega. In all honesty. It would probably be Vega. But it wouldn't be an executional problem. It would be a problem with building charge. I would argue that every one of the charge characters in the game had very hard FADC combos, because you would have to learn how to charge partition properly. Whatever they call charge partitioning back then, it doesn't work the same way it did in Third Strike. And also dash ultras. That would also be really difficult, especially for someone like Guile, or I don't think Balrog had the double flash motion, but you know what I'm talking about. So when we get down to A tier, Fuerte has Run Stop Fierce, which is easily one of the best loops in the game because it was meterless. And it like, if you want to see like really great, what's it called? Why was that ad removed? I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm not curious, but I'm also curious. But anyways, if you guys really want to see Fuerte at his best, please look up old Pepe Dai matches. Everyone kind of slept on this character until Pepe Dai came in the scene at the tail end of the Ultra scene, or at the tail end of Ultra's lifetime, and really showed what this character was capable of doing. The problem is, Run Stop Fierce is such a difficult combo that if you were to make it easier, he would be absolutely just all over you. It would be so difficult to deal with. Cody, Abel, Cammy, and Jury all had pretty important FADC ground combos. But were they... Cody's maybe kind of hard, but like, Abel's wasn't difficult. I don't remember his being like super difficult. It was just a dash up and then do like heavy punch again. Excuse me, crotch heavy punch. My bad. But like, I don't remember Abel's being like super duper difficult. Cody's maybe, but like, again, like, I don't think his kit really improves too much. Oh no, I'm listing not difficult. I'm just saying they're important. Oh, okay, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. So Guile, I don't think Guile really changes much when we talk about combos, because Guile had like 4 combos, realistically. Like, what did Guile did not have that many different combos, realistically. Like, his, like, meterless combo was literally just mash jab into far standing heavy punch. So, like, man. Ryu, we already talked about Ryu. Ryu was actually secretly kind of good in this, or in Ultra. They buffed him pretty decently because he had more ways to juggle into Ultra 1. I think giving him the consistent ability to go into crouch, or from crouch jabs into crouching medium kick, really kind of buffs his game, because that was his bread and butter combo and was locked behind a 1-frame link. Same with Ken, but Ken's mix-up game was just making him like a gorilla. I kind of actually want to put Ken above Ryu, because Ken had really good damage. It's just he had like really meh combos, but they got buffed in Ultra. He had to do a lot to get the win. But I think buffing his like how easy it is for him to do combos, I think it would turn him into like the Brazilian Ken that we know today. Sagat, pretty decent character. His combos would be like, he was good. He was good. He had really great pokes. He had really great fireballs. A great uppercut. Tiger Knee was pretty good, but like I think he kind of stays where he's at. Just a solid all-around character. His close-up game would improve by allowing jabs to combo more consistently. I don't think it would give him like too much, because it already really wasn't like super duper difficult, I think, to get 2 crouching jabs together. But like that, like Sagat also was like very much a zoning character. That upside down kick combos, yeah, that would actually make him like stupid fucking good. I would make Viper higher in B+. Oh, speaking of important FTDC ground combos, Gen. Yes! I forgot Gen combos. Viper could definitely move up. Viper was actually really strong, but we'll get to her in a minute. Sakura, this character was a fucking monster. She just, like, her combos were just difficult. That's why a lot of people didn't play her. Because, like, she had to do, like, a lot of really difficult combos to get very, like, not great damage, but not terrible damage. I think making her combos more consistent would make her just a beast. Because she had a loop from, like, I think it was, like, medium kick Tatsu into, like, standing light kick, and then she could do it again. Or whatever. It wasn't an infinite, but it looped pretty well. Makoto has very bad movement, but, like, her tools, if used properly, could absolutely melt people's life bars. And as we discussed earlier, one-touch death, like, probably could one-touch you. Pretty, like, her stuff did come from a juggle, which is, like, totally fair, but, like, her just having a consistent punish game would demolish people. Because she's so, like, if she touches you, you're just dead. She, like, playing against Makoto was very much a, like, try not, like, you have to just keep her out. And giving her, like, an ability to get in easier would just make her so much better. She had slow links where you do all that, and then there's, like, 5 seconds before you do a 1-frame link. Her juggles only came after 1-frame links. Exactly. So, like, her juggle game isn't gonna, like, that's never gonna improve by having easier, what's it called? Like, an easier way to, like, basically I just think, like, if you make her combos easier to do and, like, her punish game more consistent, like, she'd melt you. She would absolutely melt you, because I still have flashbacks of fighting Makotos and then just getting, like, EX, like, geet choked, and then she just freaking slaps you across the face, and then boom, half your health is gone. So it makes getting into juggles way easier. Yes, it would. Which is why I think she's very deserving of being an A-tier character. According to me, at least. Viper, again, high execution character, but if you pull off the high execution stuff... Okay, so we have a couple... So, we actually need to talk about this character. So, the stuff that made Viper really good was super jump canceling moves, which would not be improved by doing 1-frame links. But the problem is, or like by alleviating 1-frame links, the problem with this character is she did have a lot of 1-frame link combos. So, I don't... Like, she didn't have a lot of combos to begin with, but she had a lot of executional boundaries between super jump canceling, between canceling her thunder knuckles. So it's like, it would really improve her combo game, and it would potentially improve her punish game. Which is why I don't want her to go any higher than where she's at in B+, like where she's at currently. I don't think she's the best B+ character. Because here's the thing. Like, she still has things that one frame links, or like getting rid of one frame links, aren't going to save her from. Hugo can do way more damage off of being able to do more less one frame links. So I think it's pretty fair that she moves down a little bit. And make the stance cancel follow-ups way easier. Doing the stance cancel is easy. Doing the thing that follows it is the hard part. Exactly. Like her Thunder Knuckle cancels. But I don't think those were, like, intended to combo. I think that was more like a mix. But also, she was one of those characters that, like, only, like, 4 people played. Like, realistically, let's go to the side, because, like, I don't remember a whole lot of Viper stuff. There was only, like, 2 or 3 people that I can name. Actually, I can only name one Viper player, and that was Wolfcrone. That was it. That's the only Viper I remember. That, like, I'm sure there were other Vipers out there, but I don't think we really saw her full potential, because, like, not a lot of people put in the time to get consistent with a character that was not easy to be consistent with. Like, her bird kicks were super good, which is why I think it was really important for you to learn how to do these super jump cancels, because her super jump canceled, like, you could super jump cancel certain moves into her jumping burn kicks, which were amazing if you burnt meter for it. Just giving Kyuga perfect hand claps and an 8 heavy punch follow up after tick throw is a big deal. Yeah, no, it absolutely is. Never a point to play Viper when there was better, easier characters, at least at a tournament level. Exactly. There really wasn't that many people playing Viper. But I think giving her more of a reason for... Oh, Sherry Nan also played Viper. God, I'm dumb. She was also another character that played a lot of Viper. So, yeah, I think, again, this is a pretty fair, like, spot for Viper to be in. Like, B+, higher B+, because, like, she's good. She's really good. She had a pretty decent amount of pokes. She was just really hard to play, and she was, like, super, like, it was super hard to be consistent with her. But I think, like, unlocking her damage potential and her stun potential really would help her in the, like, be in this tier. Because if not, I think she was, like, B at best. She was not a very good character because she was so hard to play. Now, Rose, we kind of discussed. We said that she doesn't really have very many combos. She just had decent-ish buttons. Like, her crouching medium punch, great button. Absolutely a great button. Her forward heavy kick, wonderful at stopping anyone from approaching. It's just, she didn't really have combos, so it doesn't really put her any higher to make the game more easy to combo for her, because she didn't really have them. It just kind of makes her, like, medium punch, drill combo a little bit easier, which was good, but, like, it wasn't, like, anything to call home about. She was just a solid zoning defensive character, and, like, well deserving of her spot right here. Poison was also a really good character, but she had some executional stuff, if I remember correctly, but, like, her fireball was really good. I don't remember, like, I don't know if, like, she had that many one frames, but, like, she wasn't, like, anything to call home about. Like, she did not become a really big problem. Don't forget the Rose backdash. Rose backdash was really good, actually. That, like, again, Rose was a defensive monster. I don't think, like, in like, this specific scenario, I don't think it makes her that much better. Like, it's kind of the same how I feel with Poison. Like, I don't think she really relied super heavy on one frame links. But even if she did, I don't think, like, it, like, made her kit that much better. Because, like, she was good, but she wasn't great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she was up here hanging with these guys. I think her fireball was really good, but I think if you made these guys more consistent, like, she doesn't hold a candle to, like, Sagat or something. Sagat can just consistently outzone her. And it's sort of the same with Dalsim, because Dalsim was good, even though, like, the only people really playing him were, like, Arturo. His zoning game would still be great. His up-close game would get buffed, but his up-close game in Street Fighter V is way better than it was in Street Fighter 4. Like, we just have to point that out. Like, he didn't start to become a scary person up close until Street Fighter V. So, like, I think, again, keeping him in B+, like, maybe high B+, like, above Rose, maybe, is a fair spot to put him in. But I think, I don't remember him being, like, so good. Because he had, like, a Kuma, Evil Ryu level health. I think his health was at, like, 850. So you had to kind of, like, just fart on him and he'd be, like, almost dead. Bison is another person that I think is, like, up here with Rose. Bison's main weakness, like, we already talked about this. Bison had solid pokes. His combo damage was really good. His special moves were very annoying to deal with. The problem was, all this relied on Bison standing. You get a hard knockdown on Bison, he doesn't have a way to get up safely without just, like, holding back. Right? You could do Dictator Stomp, but that didn't really get you much, and if they like, you were punishable from that. If they knew you were going to do that, like, they could jump back and just button, and you were eating that. Dictator Stomp was not very good back in Street Fighter 4 either, and it's not really, like, it's not even really that good in Street Fighter 5, and he still suffers from the problem of he has really terrible wake-up options. The thing that makes him so good is the fact that his medium punch and his heavy kick were just, oh god, yo, they were problems. Oh my lord. Bison medium kick literally, like, gives me PTSD. Gen's a really weird case. Okay? Gen's a really weird case. The reason why I say he's a really weird case is because he had a lot of really cool things that you could do. Like, his combos were really powerful if you had the execution for them. They were very difficult. They were partially juggles, partially had to do with one frame links. The thing that made him, like, really unique was his stance canceling, or his stance switching. That's a better way to put it. You can actually parry by doing stance switching properly. If you've ever seen the desk combo of parrying with Gen, you can parry, like, a lot of hits if you're fast enough. But, so here's my problem with Gen. Like, here's why I don't put him up in, like, A tier or something. I don't think Gen had that much, like, you had to consistently do his, like, air kick shenanigan combo thing that resulted in a hard knockdown and, like, a really good Oki situation for him. But Gen was really slow, and his buttons kind of, like, hung out there, if I remember correctly. The only notable player of Gen that I remember was Shin, or is it Shin? Is it Sheen or whatever? No, Zan? I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce his name, but, like, I think it was Zan. But, like, either way, only really one person played Gen, and I think a lot of why Gen was so powerful back in that time was because no one had any matchup knowledge to him. He was just a difficult character to play. People kind of just tossed him aside because they'd rather play someone easier and more consistent. It's kind of like the same thing with Viper. It's just more people played Viper than they ever did Gen. He did have that crazy cross-up button, the chicken kick. I mean, he had it, but, like, I think that was, like, a gimmick more than it really was, like, a great thing. So, like, I think he would get improved by making his combos easier, because you'd be more consistently putting people in really bad wake-up situations. But, like, yeah, that's really it. That's, like, as far as I know about him. Now, I love Dudley. And I would love to just say A tier character, easy. But we have to think about this objectively. And now this is my main. And I have to say this. An increase in his input buffer is going to make his target combo. So you guys are thinking like Smug level Dudley. Okay? And a lot of what Smug does is cancel certain parts of target combos into other strings. Or like other target combos or like other links. And yes, those combos are very flashy. But here's the thing about those flashy combos. They scaled really poorly because they came off a target combo. The target combos made them scale like really awful. So, yes, it's really cool that Smug was doing all that cool shit online. But if I remember correctly, the combos weren't optimal. They were flashy looking. So, Dudley wouldn't really benefit. Like, the weaknesses of Dudley aren't going to be alleviated because they made his combos a little bit easier. Dudley already hit like a truck. Okay? He had Zangief level health and stun. It was hard as hell to get this character stunned. It was even hard, like, he had so much health to work with too. And his mix-up game was really good in the corner. Dudley had to work so hard to get you to the corner. That was one of his main weaknesses. That actually is his main weakness, realistically. His juggle combos wouldn't become any easier if you made the input buffer larger. His flashier combos that I said, again, would scale. Those really aren't going to make him that much better. The only thing that would really be more consistent is the infinite loops he had on Gen, Guile, Abel, and then I think maybe Sagat. Like, he had him on the big body characters and then Guile. I don't know why Guile specifically, but hey, whatever. So, like, those would be easier. But again, those also scaled really hard and weren't really worth the meter that was required for it. So, I think Dudley just doesn't improve. He just becomes a little bit more consistent. He's literally Geef with combos. That was a completely fair assessment of the character. But again, you had to be in the corner to really get the most out of it. Now, he had great corner carry, but you had to be there in order for him to get the most out of his toolkit. If he wasn't there, okay, good luck. Geef, also, the reason why Geef doesn't get much better is because he still had a lot of weaknesses. Like, his weaknesses do not improve, and neither does his combo game. Nothing improves about Geef by giving him a better, or a more lenient input delay. His punish game, his strongest punish was Lariat, which was not hard to do. You just mash the 3 buttons. So, yeah, he doesn't really get a whole lot out of it. If at all. In fact, it was at all. He doesn't get much. Same with Gouken. Gouken's kit didn't revolve around really hard combos. It revolved around juggles, for his combos at least, and zoning. That was it. His whole thing was just keeping you away. His combos weren't difficult to begin with. So, yeah, it's not like his buttons would improve or anything. Sure, he would have a little bit more consistent time punishing you, but, he already did that kind of well. At least for Gouken. Gouken really didn't have, Gouken's issues weren't that. His issues were just, his combos sucked to begin with. All of his stuff really revolved around you being on the other side of the screen and him getting you there. So it's one of those things where it's yeah, this kind of helps, but it doesn't, do a whole lot more. You know what I mean? It doesn't, make him that much better. It's like Dudley again. It just makes him more consistent. That's it. Now, when we get down here, these are characters that, sort of shine, but, they still have drawbacks that really don't make them much better. I think Abel would go, I think Abel is very well deserving here, because Abel's actually a really good character. His grab range just sucks for a grapple character. Yeah, that's about it. And his combos do like okay damage, but like he had like 4 combos you had to worry about. And like all of his combos really were juggles. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, so like Abel's another character that doesn't move a whole lot. His pokes were okay, but his like all of his combos were really juggles. So it's like one of those things where it doesn't really improve him. Now these characters here all have like really bad weaknesses. Rufus, I think he's one of those characters that were like really good in vanilla, but like as the game went on, he just kind of stopped being great. You know what I mean? He also had a really wide hurt box, so that made him really easy to get hit, and he's also annoying as shit. Just, like, personality-wise. So, like, yeah. Sure, making his combos a little bit easier, or, like, more consistent does help, but I don't think he has great tools to begin with. I really don't. I don't think his toolkit was really all that great as the game progressed on and all these other characters got in. Because, like, he struggles a lot with just like these characters. Like he struggles. Rufus was a struggle bus. We also have the perfect frame traps under this system. Yes, we do. But I don't really know, like that's like more nuanced things with these characters that I don't know everyone enough to do that. Like, to really get into that. I can tell you Dudley would still be a fucking beast. But, like, like, the thing is, like, I don't know enough about, like, all these characters to, like, really be, like, oh, yeah, no, they're, like, the frame trap buff would, like, definitely help. Like it's a little bit more nuanced than, like, I can honestly give you. So, like, also the same with decap rate. I think she improves, but I don't remember her being all that great. Like, she really was nothing of note. I don't really think there was any decap rays in tournaments. I think all of her buttons were just a worse version of what Cammy had, except for her crouching heavy punch. Yeah, that's it. That's really it. She's just Cammy with a teleport and a charge character. She didn't really have a whole lot to call home about, just in general. So I don't think an input buffer increase is gonna really help her out. It might help her out in the frame trap department because, like, absolutely terrifying, kind of like the great Walmart value version of. I just think she doesn't really like improve too much. This guy used to be here. He moves up a whole tier because he just becomes even more of a mix-up machine. It's just, he doesn't have a great toolkit to begin with. You have Roll, which can lead into some mix-ups, but is super punishable all the way around. Like, his Rolento ball that's on the ground is okay. It's not great. Again, super punishable. The overhead mix-up that comes out of it, like, this character really needed to get momentum, and the moment you take that away from him, he's just okay. He's not great. He's not bad. He's just okay. Making his combos a little bit more consistent, like his combos into Rekka, would just give him a better wake-up scenario and a more consistent way to get into a good wake-up scenario. It's just, he doesn't get a whole lot better. Adon had his stand heavy kick, which was like his best button because it's a 2-hit move that breaks armor right there. It's kind of fast for a heavy kick if I remember correctly, but like it's a good far-reaching multi-hit attack. It's good for controlling space. However, Adon struggled a lot in a lot of matchups. He had a really good fuzzy guard, but he had a really kind of weird time cracking defensive characters. And I mean, it was a really bad time. He could go pretty nuts on a tick throw setup, but he's another one of those characters again that if things weren't going his way, he kind of struggles to catch back up. And also, literally one of his ultras is hyper specific or hyper matchup specific, and is kind of inconsistent about hitting. So like he's good, but he's not the best, which is what this B tier is supposed to be. Frame traps would really help Cody. I only know that because he's a frame trap machine. Yeah. So like we could honestly put Cody like above Rufus. I think that would be a fair spot to put him, but I don't think he like was good enough to hang out like up here. Okay. He had slide, but like the problem is like frame traps are really good if people are falling for them consistently, but he just doesn't have like he didn't really have a whole lot of gimmicks. Like he was annoying, but like he didn't have like a whole lot. He doesn't even have a whole lot in Street Fighter V. I mean, don't get me wrong, the upgrade to him, nice. The way that his character looks, but like he doesn't like he didn't have like standing heavy kick was pretty good, but like Bison's was better. Slide was decent, but it was like okay. Rock I think had projectile durability, but it was all right. Criminal upper, that was a pretty good anti-air, and it kept Cody on the ground, but like also if you whipped it, you was dead. That sucked. I don't think Cody like got like super good. I think it kind of like his frame trap game would increase, but like I don't want to put that much weight on it because it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, they kind of have to fall for this though. Because you could also make that same argument for Ibuki and Blanca. Like, well, actually, no, not frame traps. Ibuki also still kind of suffers from her same her same weaknesses, and her combos weren't super difficult. You could do her EX kicks and combo them a little bit, like into crouch jab into like another one of the kicks again, or the EX kicks again, and that could lead to a hard knockdown scenario. But like her best thing off a hard knockdown was like dash in and then do like try to hit him with a meaty kunai. So there was that. Yeah, that was like her gimmick, and yeah, it wasn't great. It was good, but like it was one of those things where it really had to work in her favor. Otherwise, she wasn't winning. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't like really getting ahead much. Blanca was it was good. I would actually put him like up here in like this area. Now thinking about it, like he was good, but like he wasn't great. Electricity was a good armor breaking move, and I think EX Electricity actually had armor. Blanca Balls definitely broke armor. There's no question about that, and you can honestly make Blanca Balls really stupid in that game. But yeah, he didn't do a whole lot. Like he was like he did a lot, but he also like didn't, you know, because Blanca Balls, if they're blocked, there were pretty decent ways to punish it. Most people had them. So yeah, and then like again, Jury's weird in Street Fighter 4, man. Blanca's just Blanca. Yeah, that's totally fair. I like the way Cody looks in Street Fighter 4. Bro, Street Fighter 5 Cody looks so much better. But anyways, so Jury's also another one of those characters that's like, yeah, this is just Jury, you know? The only person that played him was Lord Voldemort himself. As far as I remember, that was like the most prolific player. So it's like good, but like also one of those characters that was like the pocket character for like certain matchups for Lord Voldemort. Lord Voldemort won EVO 2012 with Akuma, not Jury. So like she was weird. Like I don't remember her combos being super duper difficult, but like I also didn't really play her. I don't think she was like anything to call home about. There was nothing really notable for her in this. Voldemort? Yeah, we ain't saying that name in this house anymore. That's a whole different discussion, and I don't know if I really want to have that one tonight. She had a lot of one-frame links, but not many people played her. I don't think she was just that good. I don't think she was bad, though. Yeah, I mean, like, that's why she's in B tier, but, like, I don't think she's much better than that, even with all her one-frame links taken out. She's not even that good in Street Fighter V when you think about it. Like, Juri had a so, like, here's kind of my argument for why I don't think Juri was that good. So, the way Juri's fireball works, if I remember correctly, was you could hold, like, you could do quarter circle forward light kick, and if you held light kick, she wouldn't do the fireball. But here's the thing, that also means you can't press light kick anymore. And you can charge all 3 fireballs, but you also can't use those buttons anymore until you release. But then you're also letting go of the fireball. So there was, like, a lot of parts that you had to keep in mind with playing her, and I think that was just more annoying than people really wanted to deal with. So she wasn't bad by any means. She just wasn't, like, amazing. She wasn't anything... She didn't have, like, the disgusting mix-up game in the corner like Dudley, or, like, could one-touch you to death like Makoto could. But, like, she was good. She was. I mean, there's no denying that. She was okay. But I think she's just okay. That's it. Now, once we get down to C tier, these characters really don't improve at all. She was a momentum character. Yeah, but I mean, like, everyone in this tier is a momentum character. Like, with the exception of Cody, and maybe Rufus. Like, the moment you fuck up, you're behind so bad with these characters. Now, here, C tier is another one of those things where it's like, these characters were pretty bad. Executionally, if you take away that issue with them, they might get a little bit better, but there were so many other glaring weaknesses with them. T-Hawk, we already know Capcom gave him the fucking GAT, but that still didn't make him that great. There was a lot of problems with T-Hawk. He was, for all intents and purposes, bad Geef with a Shoryuken, and not even a good one. That's it. That's it. Now, don't get me wrong, if I could go back, I would definitely still be playing T-Hawk, because T-Hawk is fucking, like, so here's the thing, he's bad. T-Hawk is objectively a bad character. There's just no way you can, like, with T-Hawk's kit, he didn't really have combos to begin with, and the combos that you did have, either you just ended it with button, like you just did button, 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 or you did, like, close button, into, like, his DP. That's it. Other than that, he had absolutely nothing crazy to call home about except a 2-hit sweep. That was pretty minus. So, the thing that made T-Hawk great, though, was that since everyone knew he was a bad character, you just played him for the memes. Because if you, like, ruffle stomp somebody into the ground, oh my god. It was the funniest thing ever to do to somebody. Receiving it felt awful, because you're like, oh my god, T-Hawk's so bad, why am I just letting this dude, like, absolutely whoop on me? But, like, when you get him, like, when he starts working, it's a fucking party, and you're like, oh boy, it's crazy. He can go pretty nuts. But, like, the thing is, you have to play him literally, like, you have to play this dude like you just won the lottery. Right? Like, you have to just literally just go all in. Every single time you do something, it has to just be full commitment. With 1 week of practice, I beat a 10-year player of Street Fighter 4 with T-Hawk, and I was playing Honda. I hate every little bit of that. But, like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, you just have to kind of YOLO with him, and yeah, it's kind of bad. T-Hawk's Ultra 2. Was that the Air Ultra 2? That was the Air Ultra 2. That was pretty cool. It was basically T-Hawk Pop Buster. Or Heavenly T-Hawk Buster. But, like, I'm kind of mad T-Hawk didn't come back in Street Fighter V, but I say that with the full understanding of why they don't put T-Hawk back in a Street Fighter game, mostly because he's one of the bad depictions of Native American people that, like, we just don't want anymore. There's a reason why Nightwolf and Chief Thunder had to get redesigns, and T-Hawk's part of that problem. Could use a redesign, could use a whole makeover. Little inappropriate. But still, fun character, really bad though. Now, Oni is an okay character.
Your restaurant has a...
What the fuck was that? Was that Guilty Gear? Mexican Typhoon? Oh, God. Let's not get started on, like, so Mexican, like, okay, I can't. But alright, on to Oni. Oni is really good online. Yeah, that's it. I remember Sanford really tried to make this character work back at, like, during NLBCs, and he just never did. It just never worked. It never did. There's not really a whole lot of good things going for Oni. He's bad. He's just bad. Okay. His normal fireball does like Dan levels of shit. It's just a little bit better than that. He has a like the Akuma like he has the Akuma like half circle fireball that like kind of is good and it's kind of fast, but it's also not great. Like there really wasn't a whole lot of stuff going well for Oni. He's just a cool concept. That's it. Now, Hakan. So there's a reason why Hakan's not like... Hakan didn't have combo. Well, no, he didn't have combos. Okay, so Hakan doesn't have combos. Get that out of your head. Even the thought of them is wrong. The reason why you need to get that out of your head is because Hakan's best thing was like jab into the thing where he like Scooby-Doo runs and then grabs you. Okay? That was like a really good thing he had, and then his like forward heavy kick sweeped you, and it was kind of hard to see coming. So that's like Hakan's best stuff right there as far as I can remember. A lot of the stuff that Hakan had, you just threw out because it was a bad button or it was not useful. So increasing his combo or like removing the executional barrier from his combos really isn't going to do a whole lot for him because his toolkit is still built around command grabs. The thing, however, with Hakan is the oil that you have to maintain. He's a very resource-heavy character, and, like, a resource management-heavy character, I should say. So, like, very rarely did you ever see Hakan outside of specific, like, hyper-specific matches between Voldemort and a different character, or and a different player. That was just one of those things. Like, he was, like, really the only person playing Hakan. That's about the nicest thing I can say for Hakan. Not really a whole lot of good stuff going for him. Outside of oil. When he had oil on, he was an absolute monster, but the fact that you had to maintain that and it didn't last very long really was kind of an issue. So, like, Hakan doesn't really improve that much. Vega had a shit ton of one-frame links for absolutely no reason, but the problem is all of Vega's tools suck. If you need a better explanation for this, go watch Bad Balancing by Raphael. He got better in Ultra, didn't... I mean, like, he probably could go up to, like, low B, high C, because he did get buffed in Ultra, and a lot of his stuff did actually start to work, because, like, up until Ultra Street Fighter 4, Vega just didn't work. Like, the stuff that Vega did not... It just didn't work at all. So I think you could put him in, like, low B tier, high C. We're just going to put him in low B for right now, because, like, I like, Vega is a cool concept. He's just a bad character. Alright, there's no way to put this. He's just bad. He's just a bad character that had a lot of tools that just kind of didn't work at all, or it's just a lot of stuff kind of wasn't great about him. But like, again, I highly encourage you to watch the video of bad balancing that Raphael did. They did kind of fix him in Ultra, but they didn't, like, that didn't give him too much. And taking away his executional barrier, you're going to be able to more consistently link jabs with his claw, but that only gets you into rolling crystal flats or whatever it was called, and that's it. Congratulations. That's really it. So like, he didn't get, was it, no, because I'm thinking of Banishing Flat, which was Green Hand. Either way, like, Vega's roll was like the thing that you get the most from his combos. He still didn't have any good anti-airs. You had to just do air-to-air normals. Yeah, he wasn't great. Guy was just a bad character also. His best reversal cost a meter, and it was just a worse version of Shoryuken because it moved him up and forward and had a shit ton of recovery on it. Hosanto wasn't going to get any better. It's good for, like, anti-fireballs, but, like, Guy didn't have a lot going for him to begin with. He's super floaty, super slow outside of his run combo. You kind of just ran and went burr. Right? I liked Guy. I have nothing else but that. Yeah, I mean, like, he was a fun character. But, like, he was just bad. He like, objectively was a bad character. And there's no, like, you cannot really, like, say a whole lot of great things about him. It's just, he kind of sucked. He wasn't great. Alright, now these three characters objectively are the worst characters in the game for a multitude of reasons. Dan literally is built to be the worst character in the game. However, I would argue that Dan being the worst character in the game also simultaneously makes him one of the best characters in the game because you assume he's the worst character in the game automatically in your head. So that's a mind game in and of itself. However, again, bad character. Do not get that mixed up. Honda does not have anything good for him going. Orochi throw, everything Honda can do, basically someone else can do infinitely better. Right? Like, way better. And his combos kind of sucked, and they didn't really do a whole lot. He struggled to fight against people with fireballs. He had terrible range on his stuff. I guess being able to do hand combos a little bit easier makes him a little better, but yeah. DJ, not an awful character. Certainly one of the worst in the game, but, like, again, another one of those characters where, like, the things he has just doesn't work. Like, he has a full stand. I don't know if they fixed this in Ultra, but he had a full stand move. Like, a move that forced stand that sometimes whiffed on crouching opponents. Are you kidding me? And every time they gave DJ a buff, every single time, they also just shot him in the other leg. Like, every single time he took a step forward, they, like, immediately snatched him back. Capcom really didn't want to see DJ do good. So, like, he's not terrible, but he's also not good. Like, he struggles just about as much as these guys do. It's just, there are just certain things DJ has that just, it doesn't function as intended at all.